Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. How is everyone this fine Wednesday? Thought I'd kick things off a couple of minutes early because I'm getting all antsy sitting here waiting. So let's kick things off and let's welcome. There are some beautiful people in today. We have a little bit of RJ right off the bat. We have just a tiny bit of Kai. Welcome in, Kai. Welcome in, Greavesy, as well. Lovely to see you all. I hope you're having a fabulous week so far. It is hump day, so I think that means today's the day that people are allowed to have sex. Is that how it works? I'm not really sure. Welcome in, Sherbs. Welcome in, Cosine. Welcome in, Grizzly. And Naufal as well. Lovely to see you, my dude. I hope everyone is doing well. We've got a bit of Lestry as well, all the way from Australia. We've got Winky in. Welcome in, Winky, my dude. And we've got a bit of G&G. How you doing, sir? Big Booty 993, the 993rd of the Big Booties. Welcome in, sir. Thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. Now, Cosine says you wish it was morning where you are. Is it late night or is it like mid-afternoon? Whereabouts are you, Cosine? If you're comfortable letting people know. And we've got Rorschach in as well. Welcome in, Rorschach. Lovely to see you. We've got Parspro in over from Austria as well. Welcome in, my dude. We've got Tactical Keith in. Nice to meet you. Lovely to see you. Right. So you may have noticed in the chat that we have a load of people mentioning footballers whose surnames begin with the letter F. And that's because today we are doing the F GOAT. That is the greatest player whose surname begins with F or whose shirt name begins with an F. By shirt name, I'm generally referring to kind of like the Brazilian players that have nicknames. So somebody like Cafu his surname isn't Cafu, but he has Cafu on the back of his shirt. So just for that distinction there. We've already got shouts in for Luis Figo, for Cesc Fabregas, for Rio Ferdinand, for Bruno Fernandes, is it Giacomo Facchetti? I can never remember his first name. Marouane Fellaini, Marouane Fellaini. I still can't say it. Fellaini. And Rorschach has probably suggested the greatest player of all, because surely once you get to the letter F, it could be no other than Rod Fanny. Rod Fanny is a fabulous shout. Both in terms of whether he's the greatest of all times, just it's really fun to shout Fanny. Could we have a little bit of Fernandinho? Could we have a little bit of Fabinho? We absolutely can. Let me get them down on my lovely little list. So the way this works, for those that haven't been here before, I'm following all your suggestions, popping them down on a nice little pad. Oh, nice little Football Manager branded pad. Just to show that off. And at the end of the stream, or near the end of the stream, I'll take the top 4. Now that will be decided a little bit based on my opinion, a little bit based on what players get recommended a lot as well, or when someone writes down their name, people go, "Oh yeah, he's amazing." We'll bring that down to 4, and then we will vote on it right at the end. We have already voted for A through E. We've got Sergio Aguero, Franz Beckenbauer, Johan Cruyff, Alessandro Del Piero, and Eusebio already in the running. Fabulous stuff. And there are some brilliant suggestions coming through as well. We've got Diego Forlan. Well, I say brilliant suggestions, and then I say Forlan. No, Forlan was a very good player, as long as you don't judge him on his United time. We've got a shout for Falcao. It's Jacinto Facchetti, that's it. Christian Vieri. Unfortunately, I think that's a V, isn't it? But I do like the idea of a mixture between Christian Vieri and Guy Fieri. That would be incredible. We've got another shout for Fabinho there. We've got Steve Finnan, the Irish legend, Fulham legend too. What about a little bit of Torre Andre Flo? Now, Lestry was here for the last stream, so he knows I don't like Torre Andre Flo. It's all down to a 98th minute winner for Chelsea, possibly in the 99 season. There's only meant to be like 4 minutes of injury time. Deep into it. The referee just kept on playing. Must be after 99, actually. Might be around 2002-ish area, I think. Fabianski. I missed Fabianski. But I have also seen Just Fontaine which is a phenomenal shout, Grizzly. So in case I haven't said hello, welcome in, by the way, Joel Tex. Thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. We've got Gog Chinese in as well. He's going to suggest Francescoli. Beautiful. We'll just keep on getting these added in. And what we'll do is, whilst we're going through, let's catch you up on where we are with the save. So, we have just finished the first season, where we finished top of the 4th tier, which is the Campo Bet 3 division. Like England, Denmark doesn't understand how numbers work, because now we're in the 3rd division, which is the 2nd division. Makes sense. The season finished 17 days ago. And we are already through coming up to pre-season for the next season. It's the 30th of June and players' contracts have expired. We're doing with this save is that every player will have the match highest earner clause. So every player will end up being paid exactly the same. But we haven't been able to hand out contracts up until now because we had one player who was on far too high wages. We had to wait for him to leave at the end of the season. And this is where we start offering out contracts. And we need to. We need to because, oh my word, we have a lot of players out of contract. So I will start by having a look here at released players. So 4 players have already been released. That's Tobias Noah. He was our defensive midfielder who couldn't run. That's Jacob Johansson. He's the guy who was on like €900 a week. Lucas Chang Anderson, our goalkeeper, who had one really awful stream but was otherwise brilliant. And Oliver Huld, who's our left back. They have all been released immediately because their wages were going to be far, far too high for us to consider extending. The rest of the squad, however, they're pretty much all out of contract and we need to make decisions on. Let me get some more of these down here. We've got Hans Rady Fuhrer for the most unfortunate surname. It is a pretty awful one. I mean, Chris Furyk comes a little bit too close for my liking as well. We've got a suggestion for the Swiss legend that is Alexander Fry. Passpro suggests I can only judge Forlan based on his World Cup 2010 performance. Best striker of all time. I mean, Forlan's time in Spain as well was very, very good. I love the suggestion for Torsten Frings. Here are a few of my favourite Frings. Beautiful stuff. PRH, welcome in. That's another shout for Rio Ferdinand. Beautiful stuff. Not a goat, but a beautiful left foot. Kalalu Fadiga. That's a name I haven't thought about for a very, very long time. And the same can be said of the Peruvian dribbly boy Jefferson Farfan. He was Peruvian, wasn't he? Maybe not. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to just claim that he was Peruvian, and if anyone disagrees, tough. His nationality has now changed. And we've got a shout for Quinton Fortune as well. That's a big booty. Is it only last names with F? It is indeed last names or shirt names with F. So some Brazilian players will have go by a mononym or a nickname. If their name on the shirt it begins with an F, that would count. So someone like Pele is P for Pele, not N or maybe D for Do Nascimento. FN chat, I see what you did, RJ. He is Peruvian. Boom. Beautiful. Oh, so Grizzly's going to go for the Paulo Falcao. We'll pop that down as well. Fabulous, fabulous. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So we need to take a look here. And so the first thing I want to point out, I did a little bit of looking at things beforehand, is that Victor Farborg is still under contract and he's on €380 a week. So that is going to be the minimum that we can set it at. Potentially, we might say that we want to do it all at €400 a week, 450 or 500. We kind of need to work that out. But if we're going to do match highest earner clause at the moment, that's going to bring everyone to around 380, which is going to be a little bit interesting because our wage budget here is €8,828. So if we were to say 8,800 divided by 400, that's 22 players in the entire squad. And that would be first team, second team, under 19s. Now, actually not under 19s because youth contracts, we can't change the VAT. when you offer a youth contract, it's a fixed amount, and that fixed amount is €60 per week. So actually that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8 players at €60 a week. That's 480. 480 off 830-ish. So 8,400. We can have 21 players for our first team and our second team at €400 per week. What does... If we're paying €20 less than that, that means that every 10 players, every 20 players, you get another player. So maybe 22. Maybe 22. That's, I think, what we've got. I'm trying to do maths on the fly. I'm not very good at it. Welcome in, Ladder I'm a massive fan. How you doing, sir? No one has mentioned Robbie Fowler yet. We've only got Rio of the Ferdinands as well. I do love the suggest for Boris Fortuna. Oh, Malik Fofana as a shout. A more recent player there. We've got a bit of Arne Friedrich. Loving the German defender suggestions. Arne, there's I can't remember which FM it was. But there's definitely an FM where Arne Friedrich was absolutely amazing. Leicester is going to suggest Christian Fuchs. Now we've got Fox, we've got Fanny. We are going through all the great names, that's for sure. For fuck's sake. See what you did there? Fran Beltran, because he reminds me of the other Beltran you had in one of your Moneyballers saves. Does Fran Beltran have Fran Beltran on the back of his shirt, or is it just Beltran? Unfortunately, if it's just Beltran on the back of his shirt, we won't accept that one. So, did we get promoted? We did. We finished top by 6 points in the end. Let's have a look down at the division last season. We'll see the promotion stage. 59 points. We went through the championship group unbeaten. I think it might have been 5 wins and 5 draws, which is pretty solid going. FA2000 also got themselves promoted. They went to a playoff against Vegard because they finished on identical records. Absolutely identical records. And that ended up being 0-0. Went to penalties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 on penalties. So the first penalty's a sudden death with a bit that made the difference in the end. Pretty even game, to be fair. Vegard will probably feel a little bit unfortunate to not make it, but you know that's how things run, really. Bless them. So we've got another shout for Robbie Fowler there, and we've got one for Leroy Furr. I mean, he had one hell of a shot on him for sure. Welcome in, Roberto Vacca. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you? A shout for Filiol. Beautiful. The keeper. Nicely done. Pipo Inzaghi is an F because he's a fox in the box. Rorschach. Rorschach coming in with Mark Fish. Absolutely. I mean, who didn't love Mark Fish? What a name. The South African centre-back at Charlton. I believe you are correct there. We've got another shout for Fernandinho as well. So we can all meet up in the FA 2000 next season. We can. Let's all meet up in FA 2000. La 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 la. I need to make some decisions. As I put down Mark Vivian Foe onto the list. Rest in peace. What about Formiga? Over 200 caps for the Brazil's Williams team. Absolutely. And a shout there for Caitlin Ford and Mary Fowler. My word. I mean, Caitlin Ford, phenomenal player. I don't know if they would ever come out ahead of Formiga, let's be fair. What letter do we need? We need to get through to M, really, don't we? So we can get to a little bit of Marta. So at the moment, our goalkeeper situations. Jonas Monefelt Peterson, he's quite loyal. He turned down moves, but he looks a little bit rubbish. I don't think we're going to keep him. And the same goes for Valdemar Madsen. They were both on amateur contracts. We won't be keeping players on amateur contracts going forward. I don't like the idea of not playing people. So we've got Felix Ostergaard, who is our backup. He's not very good. I don't know whether we want to keep him around, to be honest. I'm saying not. Let's lease him. So Carl Magnus Kjoller. Magnus Kjoller was very good for us. I have another thing to look at. So I did export stats for just some very, very basic stats. Just tackle win rate, header win rate, pass percentage, cross completed, conversion rate, and key passes per 90 for every player in Denmark. Because the season's rolled over, so this is something I can easily look back at as we look through players. So we can have a look at our players here. Our centre backs were Lucas. Oh, actually, whilst I'm here, let's change these players to the positions they mainly played. There isn't such a thing as a DN. We do have a DM though. Matches Jensby played out there. Barble did play out wide. Arga was used as a striker. Hay was used as a winger. Jacob Johansson was used behind the strikers there. So if we look at my centre backs, so they're all out of contract. We've got Kilowick, Kjola, and Spasijevic. So this number on this column is the percentile that they're in for their position group. So Kjola and Spasijevic won their tackles. Their header win rate was above average, so it's above the 50th percentile. Kilowick is below. So from a centre back, I think I'd be happy to keep Kjola and Spasijevic. So let's have a look back there then. I'll need to pop back here. So we've got Paolo Futura. Unfortunately was, I think, Paolo Futura on the back of his shirt. We've got a suggestion for Emil Forsberg, a fine shout. Dongfang Zhuao. There's a player I haven't thought about. For a very, very long time. What a suggestion. We've got Fred. How could we forget Fred? If not for that is arguably one of the best names of a footballer ever. So Jan, well, it depends which. For some reason, when the striker who played for, was it Lyon? When he was in France, Fred feels better than the midfielder Fred. I can't explain why. We've got a shout for Jan Arga Fjortoft, and for Ben Foster, and for Brad Friedel. Obviously, I love me a little bit of Brad Friedel. Had some fantastic seasons for us. So RJ, no, we didn't win the league with those goalkeepers. We won the league with this goalkeeper, who isn't necessarily that much better. His aerial reach did prove to be his command of area proved to be a little bit of an issue for the one stream where he just kept on coming for the ball and missing it every single time. He's a good goalkeeper. Unfortunately, his wages were already around €450 a week, so I knew that was going to be far above what we'd be willing to manage with. So he's already been told that he can go. So another shout for Fellaini, beautiful there. Which Fred, the striker? So the Fred that was suggested by Limoges was the Brazilian striker. So we've got Fanji. Did Fanji have Fan on the back of his shirt? I will take you. Oh well, Fanji on the back of his shirt, obviously. Unfortunately, Freddie Canute wouldn't count because Canute had Canute on the back of his shirt. So it's surnames that we're looking at or shirt names. A shout for Ansu Fati, the player that we all thought was going to be what Lamine Yamal has now become. Could we have a little bit of Fred Friday? Fred Friday. I mean, which is the better weekday name? Is it Fred Friday or is it Sunday Oliseh? Both phenomenal names. And we've got a little bit of Angelo Fulgini. Beautiful suggestions coming in there, guys. Welcome in, Crodmo. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. We already have the real Falcao, as you put it. So we've got both Falcaos on though. We've got Falcao and we've got Paulo Falcao. And now we've got Serrero Ferraro on the list. I mean, this list is hotting up. Let's have a look here. We've got, I'm not necessarily, when I run out of space, players end up in different orders. So we've got Fati, Figo, Fabregas, Rio Ferdinand, Bruno Fernandes, Fichetti, Fellaini, Fanny, Rod Fanny, Fernandinho, Fabinho, Forlan, Falcao, Finnan, Flo, Fontaine, Fabianski, Francescoli, Fry, Frings, Farfan, Paolo Falcao, Fred Friday, Fulgini, Fortune, Fowler, Fortuna, Fafana, Friedrich, Fuchs, Filio, Fish, Foe, Formiga, Ford, Fowler, Forsberg, Fangzhou, Fred, Piotr, Foster, Friedel, Fanji, Ferrara. Incredible stuff. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So I was talking about defenders. Kjola is a player that I want to stay. So let's see here. Okay, we don't have a thingy. What's it there? An agent to deal with. So we said that what's his name? Farberg was on 380. So I'm going to drop that down to 380. I'm going to remove all the clauses. Add right, Lucas Killowick we're getting rid of, so that's fine. Let's release him on a free. And we'll move forward a little bit of time so I can offer out contracts at that 380 per week. I want to offer Casper Vilfort the assistant manager's job. I let the assistant manager leave, so we will look to do that. But we only allow 2 coaches. So if I pop to my staff tab here, we've got 2 coaches, which includes the assistant manager. I don't really want one of them to be a goalkeeping coach. If I just in very, very simple terms, I'd want an assistant, either 2 assistant managers or an assistant manager and a fitness coach. So I want to offer Casper Vilfort as an assistant manager because he does have some interest in being an assistant manager. 3 out of 7 slices. That famous measuring system. So we offer him. He's on 150. Let's keep him down at 150. Okay, that's the end of Casper Vilfort's time with us. He only wants to be a goalkeeping coach, so we will get rid of these guys whose contracts have expired, and we'll get some adverts out for them. We've got to go through and judge all these players in a second. So there's a promotion wage rise, which is a little bit crappy. So that I think of the players that are going to definitely be sticking around, that's what's brought Farborg's wages up to 380. Otherwise, it would have been about 300, which would have been much, much more manageable, I feel. Right, so we can skip past that. Out Fast. Fast was mentioned earlier, and I didn't put him down on the list. Thank you very much. We've got a suggestion for Tim Flowers. Beautiful. Maina Figueroa. That goal he scored, that free kick from the halfway line. Absolute scenes. What about a little Christos Fetfatsidis? Gotta love Fetfatsidis. Beautiful. Wonderful session. We've got a suggestion for Sheriff Fatty as well. So we could have Fatty, we could have Fanny, and we can have Fox. Incredible stuff. Welcome in, by the way, Lewis Almond. Welcome in, Lewis Maswell. Lovely to see you, gents. I hope you're doing well. Trevor Francis as the first £1 million player. A fabulous suggestion. A fabulous suggestion. Right, I want to see whether that changes what I've got available here. Where is that defender? Kjola. So let's pop back in. Can I now offer 380 and match highest earner? Yep, that's what I wanted. So we'll say match highest earner, no loyalty bonus, none of that. We're going to put an optional contract extension by club on there as well. And is this going to work? That's a good sign. That's encouraging. I have not actually tested out whether this is going to be plausible. So that makes me feel good. We've got Alex Basievich. He was the other defender, was winning his duels, which is fine. So we'll see if we can keep him around as well. So he's going to get more than he wants, which is perfect. Definitely makes it easy for him to agree these deals, I imagine. A match highest earner clause, and we suggest that. Beautiful. So let's take a look at the fallback options. I'm going to skip across back on over to the browser here. So we had a few players. We've got Casper Heerfolt and Malik Backett as right backs. Now, a quick look here. Backett was rubbish at winning his tackles, rubbish at winning his headers. Heerfolt was fine, kind of solid, nothing special. Backett was better at creating chances, but there isn't much to separate them. So I think we offer Hereford to stay. We let Backett leave. I think that makes sense. We've already had to let Hold leave because of his wages. And let's have a look at the midfielders as well then. So if I look at these guys here, we've got Winther only played 131 minutes, so we can't really judge him on that there, but there are some encouraging signs there. Horsgren could win his tackles, wasn't particularly safe on the ball, but was very creative, so that's good. Crossing was reasonably solid. Linger is better at tackling, better in the air, slightly better at passing. Also crossing quite well, which is a nice surprise. Not as creative. So you've got a good balance there between Linger and Horsgren. Winther, I'm not sure. We didn't give him enough minutes, so I'm not sure on that one there. Now, it did say his best position was midfielder right, so I do wonder whether that changes anything at all. So let me pop back on over. So Max Winther is the player I'm not sure about. Yeah, we let Max Winther walk. So I think, well, we see what the deal is with Horsgren. Horsgren was on a €350 contract, so we'll see what his demands end up being. They're staying at the same, so that's good. Let's remember to remove that. We'll add contract extensions on and match highest earner clause. So we can keep Horsgren, and we can hopefully keep Linger. You don't get to choose your role there. 380 off, match highest earner, optional contract extension. Beautiful stuff. So we're going to let Max Winther walk, and we're going to let Malik Backett walk, and we're going to offer Kasper Hereford a new deal. Can we get him down to regular starter? No, we can't. That's all right. If it's a 1-year contract, if he ends up falling down the pecking order, we don't extend him, and no harm, no foul. So there we go. We've got 1 right back, 2 centre backs, no left backs, 2 defensive midfielders so far. So Daniel Fonseca, of course. How on earth has it taken this long for Daniel Fonseca to be on the list? Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. So there's that Brazilian right back whose shirt name has an unfortunate homophobic slur in it that begins with F. I am not familiar with who that is. I'm not going to encourage you to write it out though. How about a little bit of Juan Foyth? Juan Foyth indeed. I would love Juan Foyth at Villa. Obviously, he was very, very good under Emery. Really emerged as quite a capable defensive right back in his system. So welcoming nickname. Lovely to see you, my dude. I hope you're doing well. Crodmo's gone for Ron Futcher. Ron Futcher the Butcher. We've got Jose Fonte. He probably has been named, but he hasn't. But fair play. A player who was at Palace and Southampton and then captained Lille to the League One title. That was what's incredible, isn't it? At like age 36 or 38 or something crazy there. Could we have a little bit of Pablo Fornals? We have him on the list now. João Felix. João Felix, unfortunately, I think João Felix counts as a J because it's his full name on the shirt. And we've got Jefferson Farfan. We didn't have Thomas Fockett until now, but Fockett, he's on the list. We've got Cesc Fabregas. That's another shout for Fabregas. We've got another shout for Tore-Andre Flo. Tore-Andre Flo most definitely counts. And we have a little bit of bingo redeemed. So why don't we head on over and do a little bit of bingo, eh? So I will create a game. I'm going to pop this over into the chat in a second. And then you guys can all join in. So if you don't know how it works, don't worry. I'll explain. You click on that lovely little link over in chat. You'll be brought to the room lobby. Once I click start, you will get a unique bingo card with 16 squares. Those squares will contain things like clubs or countries or competitions or awards. We then all get the same list of 60 players revealed in the same order, one after the other. We get about 10 seconds to make a decision as to whether they match any of the criteria on our bingo card. If they do, you click on it, and that locks it in. You can't undo it. You can't put another player in that spot. If they don't match any of them, you either let the 10 seconds run out, or you skip the you skip that one. And by the end, you hope to have yourself a bingo. You hope to have 16 squares correctly filled in. And generally speaking, we've got a pretty bright lot in this group. We've had a bingo, I think, in at least every one of the last 4 streams, which is pretty awesome. I'm not the one getting bingo, so don't worry. If you're not confident that you'll do well, don't worry. You're in good company with me. What we'll do is I give it like a couple of minutes or so just to let people have the chance to sign up if they want to, and then we'll head on over. So, twin brother of Ron Futcher, former Barnsley defender, Paul Futcher. We're going double Futchers now. R Futcher, P Futcher. How about a little bit of Alfred Finnbogason? One of those names I've never said aloud until now, you can tell. Ben Foster, we've got Ben Foster on the list already. Well, that's another tick for him. What about Aston Villa legend Steve Froggatt? I mean, who doesn't love a little bit of Steve Froggatt? Even, there's that weird era as well where Villa players would go to Wolves and it wouldn't somehow diminish their legacy. I mean, it's 2 players, it's Froggatt and Daly, but that's enough, right? A shout for Elias Figueroa as well. So let me mark up M and E for the Figueroas. Beautiful stuff there. Right, and we will now head on over to the game. So if you've got this open up in another browser, browser tab, sorry, pop on over because the countdown will have probably already started. Thanks to the delay between me talking and it being broadcast. So here we go. Let's see if we can get a bingo. We're going to start with a little bit of Sergio Reguilon. Is there a Tottenham link here? He might be 26, above than 26, but I'm not going to be confident on that. I am, however, going to be quite confident on Tim Cahill. Absolutely 100% comes in under Everton there. How about a bit of Bobby Firmino? Bobby Firmino, will we play South American? We'll play South American. Obviously, he played in the German league as well, so we could have done that one. Jose Bosingwa. Where did Bosingwa end up playing? I don't know. I'm going to keep that one safe and go with Portugal. We've got Robert Andrick, who I can definitely put in the German league, or German, obviously. Miguel Miron. Miguel Miron has to be still younger than 36. So I'm going to say he was born in the 90s. Tim Howard. Tim Howard. I'm going to let that one run. I'm going to let that one run, I think. Alex Iwobi. Oh. Was Iwobi still at Everton when Ancelotti was there? I feel like he might have been. Or was Ancelotti too early, possibly? Oh, as far as phenomenal names go, Lars Bender definitely belongs amongst those. We've got a little bit of Tammy Abraham up next. Tammy Abraham, I don't think matches any of those. We've got Edson Alvarez. Actually, wait a second. Where was Abraham? Abraham did play in Turkey for a while, didn't he? It's gone now, hasn't it? So we can let that one. We've got Marcus Acuna. Marcus Acuna is Sevilla, right? I always struggle with Sevilla, Villarreal, and Valencia. They're all kind of the same players in my head, which is very, very unfair. We've got Alisson. We'll skip on Alisson. We've got João Pedro. João Pedro is also going to be a skip. How about a little bit of Kern Casteels? Don't think he's matching any of those for me. We've got Alexandra Pato. Don't think he matches any of those. We've got, how about Norden Amrabat? I'm not feeling good on that. That's Euros, not UEFA Cup. I need to remember that. So Euros in Copa America. We've got Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is going to be another skip as well, I think. Branislav, a lot of Chelsea players today. Branislav Ivanovic, I don't think so. Jamie Carragher. Oh, sorry, please excuse me. Don't think Jamie Carragher's in there. By the way, Scott M, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. We've got Ivory Coast there. So for Salomon Kalou, Marcin Bulker is going to be a skip. Julio Enciso is going to be a skip as well, I think. A bit of Huang He-chan. Huang He-chan, I don't think counts on any of those. Well, all be all, I'm not confident on either. Davy Klaassen. Desiree Doué is at PSG, so we can play that one, as is Lucas Beraldo. Obviously, he would come up immediately after. We're now going to go through a run of PSG players like Dan Burn. Dan Burn is most definitely a future PSG player. You can clip this. It's 100% definitely going to happen. Samir Handanovic won't have won the Serie A Golden Boot. Neither will Joe Willock. How about a bit of Jude Bellingham? He hasn't won any of those things, so they can be ignored. Ismail Bennacer. Did he end up at Juventus? It feels like he could be a Juventus player at some point in his life. Hakem Ziyech did end up in Turkey. I can't remember where it was. I feel like it might have been Fenerbahce, but I'm going to go with Galatasaray anyway. Jan Koller did not win the Copa America. Petr Cech did not win the Serie A Golden Boot. Julian Faubert did go to Juventus. I'm sure he went to Juventus. Oh no, he went to Real Madrid, didn't he? He's a former West Ham and Real Madrid player. Patrice Evra, though. Right? Abandanzieri. Argentina were on a big drought, so I'm going to let that one go. I don't think he counts on those. Did Carlos Tevez ever win the Serie A Golden Boot? We're going to risk it and hope that someone else comes up a little bit later. Quaresma. Portugal won the Euros too late for Quaresma, I think, but not too late for João Cancelo. We've got Florent Malouda here. We've got Pierre Kalulu. We've got Jermaine Defoe. We've got Ahmad. This isn't looking good. Did Fabinho cross paths with Ronaldo? I don't think so. Did Mathieu Flamini win the Serie A Golden Boot? I don't think so. John Stones has not won the Copa America. Yuri Tielemans has not played for Villarreal. Edinson Cavani. I don't think he's won the Copa America or the Serie A Golden Boot, but we're going to start just playing these there. Totti's got to have won the Golden Boot at some point, right? So down to 4 players. We need someone who's played with Ronaldo, someone who's played at Villarreal. Down to the last 3. We're going to say that Christian Vieri played with Ronaldo. We're going to say that Nasser Chadli played for Villarreal. Some people saying horrible. Formsy was in second. Formsy, fabulous stuff. We've got, oh my word, we have got a 4-way top at the tie at the top there. All getting 15 out of 16. So close. Quadmo says absolutely horrible, and he got 14 out of 16, which is, you know, the kind of modesty you come to expect from. So that is William P, Pal, Mr. Grizzly, and Cha-Cha, all joint first. You're going to get 5 points each. And that means that Quadmo and Ladislav Almasifan pick up 1 point each. And you will notice when we go on breaks and things, there's a leaderboard. We keep that perpetually. So Scott, I'm doing well. How are you, my dude? Lovely, lovely to see you. Now, William P and Pal, if you're comfortable jumping in chat, let me know what your name is over on Twitch or YouTube, so that in terms of keeping records of stores, I can link that all up. Now, I will have to just pop a little thing in chat for a moment, just to so I've got my record of this, because I a lot of this stuff is done very, very manually, because I'm not smart enough to work out how to automate things. So I'll pop that one there. So there is only bingo today. There is only bingo, as it's kind of a little bit more of a low, I don't want to say low energy, but it's a much more gentle stream today. But there are multiples. There are indeed multiples with a little bit of a cooldown in between them. So let's see. Where were we at? Did we offer We've offered Hereford his contract. We've offered the defensive midfielders contracts. So attacking midfielders now. So actually, I want to go back to that bingo bit, and I want to head on over to this here. So attacking midfielder, Victor Svensson. I think he's under contract anyway. He's not particularly creative. His crossing's been quite good. That suggests he hasn't been crossing much, but he's been doing quite well from defensive, at the defensive kind of things, tackling and heading. So maybe he plays deeper. Then we've got players. Matthias Jensby is a young right winger who didn't manage to successfully cross. Poor conversion, probably won't keep him about. Victor Farborg, we've got to keep about. He's moderately creative. He's been a decent striker. Aga Achal, his conversion rate's really poor. He leaves. We let Aga leave. Emil Barella only played 200 minutes, but he didn't make a single key pass, so he can leave. Raphael Hay and Ramesh Delsuze. Delsuze is more creative, better crosser. Hay's got the better conversion rate. Delsuze is safer on the ball, better at the defensive side of things. So, if I bring this all back to here. So we've got to keep Stojanovic and Farborg. They're still under contract. We're not going to get any money for them if we transfer list them. And we're going to have to pay them. Well, actually, we don't need to renew Stojanovic's contract, so he won't need to go up to 380. So it's the other players that we're thinking about here. Barella didn't do enough. Yeah, Svensson is under contract, so we don't need to make a decision on Svensson. So Barella's going to be released. Delsuze I want to keep around. He was the better of the wingers. So we want to go up to 380 and match highest earner, optional contract extension. Surely that's going to be fine. So Delsuze we're happy with. We've got Stojanovic. So that's three attackers. Do we keep Hay as well? I think we do. He's going to get a lot more than he wanted. Oh, do we keep Hay? Oh, good shout on Nabil Fekir. Good shout. Thank you, by the way, William. Yeah, I've got that beautifully now. Beautiful. Thank you. Nabil Fekir, indeed. Actually, haven't I got Fekir down on the list? I haven't written Fekir down. I do apologise. It was a great shout earlier. It's a great shout now. And Fekir, indeed. Fekir. No, we're going to let Raphael Hay leave, I think. So Hay leaves, Arga leaves, Matthias Jensby leaves. Barella we've already done that with. These amateur players will leave, as will that one. So we don't need to offer contract there. We don't need to offer contract there. We've offered the contract to Delsuze. So Oscar Svensson. Oscar Svensson was a player that came in right at the end of the season. He was in our youth team. We gave him, on a whim during the last stream, we gave him a start. He scored in his debut. He then started the very next game and he scored on that as well. Now the problem here is obviously, is he good enough? He's a player who basically can't do anything, but he can finish, he can head, he's got decent pace, he's got decent movement. So that's 1, 2, 3 attackers. A 4th attacker of some sort still means that we've got capacity for other attacking players. Let's give him a go. So he wants an amateur contract. We're not offering amateur contracts out. Oh, pardon me. So we're going to match highest earner clause, optional contract extension, and submit. So I think the only other one left is Pierre Larson. He is the club captain. He has been with the club for not very long. He was... Okay. He's able to do a lot of things. So let's give it a go. Oh, maybe not. Well, we'll see what happens. Does the match highest earner clause change his opinions? No, it does not. Right, so Pierre Larson is going to leave as well. Cool, so I think we've probably got about 10 players. We should be all right. We should be all right. Jan Arga Fjortov, welcome in, Cultured Left Foot, by the way. We've got him down as a suggestion. Fabulous, fabulous shout there. We don't have Nicholas Fulkrug down as a suggestion, but we do now. Do we have Championship Manager 0102 legend Felipe? We do not. We do now, though. We do now. So, okay, I think that's those bits sorted all there. Winther asked to discuss future, so we can decline that because we've already released him. We do need staff because we have absolutely none. So we'll place an advert for an assistant manager, and we'll place an advert for a fitness coach and for a head of youth development. And obviously that's going to impact largely what formations we play. But there is a very good chance our first friendly is on the 10th of July. So there's a good chance that for our first friendly there will be no staff and potentially no players. Which always bodes well, I'm sure. So what I do want to do is I want to just click continue once again, just so I can see what our squad looks like now that we've made all those decisions. Make sure that we've got everything right there. Svensson immediately signed his new deal. That's marvellous. So yeah, our squad currently consists of 2 defenders, 1 fullback, 3 midfielders, 4 forwards. We need a lot. We need a lot. So the approach I'm going to take, and I do apologise, I'm going to bounce between. No, I'm not. I'm not, in fact, because we're actually about to come up to a break. And it would make much more sense to kind of cover the next step after the break anyway. So RJ, you need to stop watching the streams and videos. Makes you almost want to buy FM. I mean, Crudmo said do it. Do it. I mean, don't do it. Just play the demo. Mate, see if it changes your mind. Or it puts you back in that actually I'm good camp. Yeah, we're going to pop on a break because we've got some ads coming up over on Twitch, and I will take that as an opportunity to step up, to stand up, stretch my legs, poison my lungs, do all those kind of things. So I'm going to see you guys in about 3 minutes, where we will talk about how we go about finding players. See you then. Right, and we're back. So where we were just about, or where I was just about leaving off, was talking about how we're going to go about trying to sign players whilst down in the lower echelons of Danish football system. So these are all the clubs that were in the data set that was exported. It didn't include the teams that had just got relegated from the bottom division, the fourth tier, the Campo Bet 3 division that we were in. I was surprised by that. I just did based in Denmark, I think. So I'm surprised that's what excluded it, but so be. And I've just gone through looking at Wikipedia and Google Maps and various other things and identified which teams are based in Copenhagen. Or with the, I think it's possibly FA2000 are based in Fredrikstad, which is a municipality that is surrounded entirely by Copenhagen. But it's its own thing, technically. Allegedly. Maybe. I'm not really sure. So I have these all kind of recorded down there. And then on my lovely little list here, I can look at just the players from those clubs. We're not going to be looking at signing any of these players this way, though, to be fair. What I'm actually going to be doing is just using that as a reference point whilst I look through the players released by these clubs. So I'm going to pop back on over to the game. And so if we start... Actually, let's start right up at the top. So Brøndby are a Copenhagen-based team. And hopefully we're still on release players. We are indeed. So it's just going to be a case of looking through these guys here, seeing if any of these would be willing to join. And I'm going to, rather than constantly switching between windows, I will just let you guys know Carl Bjork is a player that can't cross, can score, is moderately creative, but at a much higher level than what we're used to. So might see what the situation is. We're very keen on him, and he says no. Actually, I might as well do that bit before anything else. If we go to approach to sign, so he's willing to come to us. So let's see what the deal is with Jacob Wisman. He played, I think, for their youth team. He can't tackle. He can head. He can pass. He's moderately creative. It's not necessarily an area of need. So let's let that one run by for a moment. Axel Mortensen is a goalkeeper. I think he's going to have been playing in the lower divisions. So let's see. None of these guys have agents. So he's not ruling it out. That's something. Is the fact that he's just a goalkeeper Okay, he didn't play, apparently. So let's get him in on a trial. Then we've got Oliver Wettergren. Wettergren is, was playing for the reserves there. So in terms of data veracity, it's not really comparable, but we can get a vague idea onto whether the player's okay. His tackle win rate was good. His header win rate was okay. That's usually enough for me. He wants to be a star player at 19, having never played senior football. Let's see if he will come in on a trial. He hasn't turned out. He is willing to enter discussion, so he hasn't said no straight away. So that counts for something, right? See, RJ only manages in Serie C, exactly, and you haven't done so this year, so it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Tactical Keith's downloaded the Serie D database. How are you finding that? Which team did you go with, Keith? So Crodmo's desperate to get RJ to play online. RJ is not having any of it. You are on a quest to clean, not finish your backlog. How far through your backlog have you got so far, RJ? What's next on the list? Of these teams here, Kirbenhaven are another team. There's only one released player. Alfred Brun is a goalkeeper who didn't play at all. He's not saying star player, so that bodes kind of well. That suggests to me that he's got maybe more of an interest than others do. Obviously, when it then comes down to wages, we might have an issue. But at least if we've got some people that we can consider, that's kind of helpful. Lingby, I think, might be. Lingby are indeed. So 2 players there. Bro Bloom. Bro Bloom is a phenomenal name. Oh, I love that name. So Bro Bloom was playing. So this is someone who was actually playing for Lingby last season. That means I don't feel very confident he'd be interested in coming. But let's see. We never know. Yeah, that comes as absolutely no surprise there. And then there's Anders Thomas. He's 15 years old. So that means they signed him on a youth contract and then released him. That seems very weird. Wants to be a star player and wants a wage well beyond what we'd be willing to do. So let's just offer a trial. That seems very, very odd. Very odd behaviour there. So you're currently playing Mark of the Ninja Remastered with Prey, Cyberpunk, and installed. Finished 4 games last month. Nice. Has a picture, so must be good. Exactly. And that's why he doesn't want to come to us, I think. I think he went, look, I'm so big, Billy Big Bollocks here that I get a picture. No way in hell am I playing for Brønshøj. So Tactical Keith, you're playing as Regina. A good old well, I mean, they were never quite giants, were they? But a kind of a sleeping giants save. There's one of the things that's so good about Italy, isn't it? Well, so fun about playing in Italy in FM, but generally quite bad about the state of football in Italy, is that there are a lot of former top division clubs lingering down in those in Serie C, Serie D. Usually a lot of options for something fun to play. So looking in the Bettinia League. We have B93 are a Copenhagen-based side. They haven't released any players. Okay, that makes that one nice and easy. Who else do we have in this? Hello Up, I think, are. Hello Up are. So, Hello Up. Oh, they've let loads of players leave. Only a handful of them are free agents. So we've got Jonas Damkier here. Jonas Damkier was playing not as regularly as that looks, but let me have a look and see what lovely information I can find out about Jonas Damkier. Jonas Damkier, 84th percentile for tackle rate, 92% header rate, 67% pass rate, 61% percentile crossing, 81 percentile conversions, 97th percentile key passes. He is good at absolutely everything. So he has absolutely no interest in joining us. Absolutely, should have known that. Ali Shah, a Pakistani left winger, used to play for us. Surely he'd be interested in joining. You're one of our own, Ali. Ali, man. Disappointing. Jonathan Rindom. Wrong name. He played quite a bit of minutes. Let's go straight to the asking agent about availability. He's not interested. Donovan Bagu. Whoa! He scored crazy amounts of goals. There was absolutely no chance that he's interested in joining us. Indeed he isn't. That's a shame. Yeah, there were dozens of giants in lower Italian league. It's brilliant. And most of these clubs were founded 10 years ago. Okay, there are loads of Phoenix clubs. I swallow cum. Nice to know, YT account. That's a very, very bold thing to admit online. But we now know whether you're a spitter or a swallower. Cesena is an interesting one with a crazy academy for the late level. A good shout there indeed. A good shout. Welcome in, Extra Battle. Lovely to have you in. If you're comfortable chatting, who do you support? And who are you playing with in FM? I'd love to know. Here's Jonas Idris, an Egyptian centre-back who has previously played for us. This has worked out badly previously. Let's see. Right, there are demands, but he's not said no outright. So let's see if we can offer him a trial. I should really keep track of how many we've offered trials to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's not... We should be absolutely fine in terms of... What's the limit? Is it like 20 or 30? I'm not sure. I mean, what's a Union Brescia? You only know Brescia Calcio. Brescia FC. Exactly. DMB, welcome in, my dude. How's everything going? How's your weekend, sir? Let's have a look. What other clubs do we have after Hello Up? Hello Up, we have... Is there a Hivador here? There is a Hivador. Ivdovra, maybe. Ooh, loads of release players. This'll do nicely. Idris Elba looks a bit differently nowadays. He does, just a little bit. So Extra Battles, you support Man United? You're playing with Brisbane Roar in FM to try to get them their first Asian Champions League. Fantastic. How far into the save are you and how's it going? Isn't in 25 at the same time? Exactly. So Morten Knudsen. He's an experienced player. No chance of former Inter player is interested in joining us. Should have known. So how about Mads Carland? He's a midfielder. He was playing minutes, so that's always a good sign. Yep. Magnus Fredsland. Let's just go straight to finding out that these people aren't interested. Nikolai Clausen. I know that name seems familiar. It's not what I thought. I thought he might have been... Who am I thinking of? I don't know, but he's another former Brønshøj player. So probably isn't interested. He isn't interested. Don't you know where you guys came from, man? Come on, respect your heritage. How about Andreas Smed? He's not interested. Luca Prip. Luca Prip. I do like that name quite a bit. Luca Prip. I no longer like his name. Fuck you, Luca. How about Oliver Kiergar? Oliver Kiergar. Also a no. Oliver Kiergar. So we've got Mehmet Koshkin, a left back. We definitely need a left back. He won't be the answer though. Koshkin. Sebastian Koch. Sebastian Koch is also not interested. We're getting the idea, that's for sure. How about Jagveer Singh? Jagveer Singh doesn't think we're big enough. And Zamir Al-Aliji. Zamir Aliji also doesn't. So Ivadora, they just have no respect for us whatsoever. So Sonderjiska aren't, OB aren't, Middelfart aren't, Kolding aren't. So that's all the Copenhagen teams there. So Aarhus are in Aarhus. AB are our big rivals. So I doubt that we'll be able to get any of their players, theoretically, right? So Danish is doing all right. Fairly quiet weekend. Ruined entirely by Monday night's results. We don't need to talk about the football at the weekend. No, it never happened. Never happened. Leicester, considering only one Australian club has won the Asian Champions League, that's a big task. It sounds like it should be a real fun challenge. Welcome in, Gaming Fishy. How you doing? How was your weekend? How's your week so far? Lovely to see you, my dude. Crodmo's delighted with Monday's result. Not surprised. Not surprised. So basically, players who played last year don't want to join. It does seem that way. It really does. It really does. Rorschach is now over on Twitch here. Welcome in, my dude. You're also an Everton fan. Oh no, we don't need any of them. His name is Luca. No, I think that's the right song, Lestry. 100%. 100%. Yeah, see, DM Base is right. Don't encourage the Evertonians. It's always a bad sign. What's the deal with Daniel Pedersen? Daniel Pedersen would be willing to come, but wants 4 times the amount of money, well, 3 times the amount of money that we'd be willing to offer. So Vesterholm here can play multiple positions. He's not interested. Emil Mygind, I did read that as My Grind at first. A striker he's got jumping reach above 10. That's a good possibility. Wants to be a star player. That doesn't fill me with great confidence, I'll be honest. I feel like when we go into the approach to sign, if they want anything below star player, we might have a chance. How about Aegir Jarl Jonasson? He can play lots of positions. He's got lots of names. That's always a good sign. But he has too many names. That's the problem. Too many names to consider joining lowly old Brønshøj. And then we've got someone who is in the reserves for AB. Wants to be a breakthrough prospect. So he'd definitely be interested, but probably won't be good enough. Let's get him in for a trial. A lot of these players are attacking. We really need like a goalkeeper or some defenders. So let's hope. Crummer, you can try as much as you want. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Is that Clelandino? Beautiful name. So Mike, given the socialist undertones of this team, we should heavily recruit in Russia in the former Eastern Bloc. Welcome in, Mike. How you doing, my dude? We should, but we've got plenty of socialist Danes at our disposal. Hopefully, welcome in, Peter, as well. I don't know if you know this, but the well-known coach Bo Henriksen started his coaching career in Brønshøj. They're a bit of an underdog team. I mean, but Brønshøj used to be going back to the 70s now, a top division team. Obviously, I was talking about it with there's a commenter on YouTube. Who was it? Who was the guy that was at Brønshøj? Famous Dane, left Brønshøj to go manage Brøndby when Brøndby were a small club many divisions below. But why can't I think of who it is? It'll come to me. Probably after the stream has ended, knowing my luck. So, Brabant aren't Copenhagen-based. FA do count as that as far as I'm concerned, but they've got no players that they've released, so that doesn't matter. Helsingør are not. Roskilde aren't. Remad are. So let's have a look at their options there. So Game Fisher, you're relieved to see this struggle as you're worried you're having the same issues for getting players at Lancaster. Just one up to the National League, but no one wants to come. That is, I mean, the reputation system in FM really does bring a challenge to it. That sometimes if you overperform early, you're not able to get players that even want to consider you, which can make it quite challenging. But that's half the fun, right? That's half the fun. So how about another right back? Would Jonas Lishoy be interested? He wants to just be a regular starter. That I like. That sounds good. Let's get him in for a trial. Let's just check the... How many players are we looking at there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Currently, I think the limit might be 20. I'm just worried that if we offer, it then cancels some of them, which I'm not, obviously don't want to happen. Let's have a look at Marcus Bay here. He's not interested. Marcus Bay isn't interested. Kenneth Zohor was playing in the 3rd division. Wow. I would not have expected that. Granted, he's not the greatest player ever, just a much higher caliber than I would have expected to find out. So extra battles, you're in mid-table, scoring lots of goals but conceding just as many. Entertainment, that's all that matters, right? Welcome in, El Norby, lovely to see you. RJ, we will play Bengo in a couple of seconds. It's not Brian Laudrup, the only Dane worth remembering anyway. Thomas Gravison is a suggestion for the only Dane worth remembering. Welcome in, Yigit. So we just got promoted from the 4th tier to the 3rd tier. The 3rd tier is called the 2nd division because it is. The top division is called the Super League. The second division is called the Betinia Pro. The 3rd division is called the 2nd division, and the 4th division is called the 3rd division. So they're called the 2nd and 3rd division, despite being the 3rd and 4th division. And the 2nd division, which should therefore be called the 1st division, isn't called the 1st division. Makes sense. Makes so much sense, right? Jeppe Simonsen would not be interested either. Let's have a look at Otto Dupont. Otto Dupont is not Danish. Otto Dupont is a fine French name. He wants to be a star player, so I don't think he's going to be that interested in coming. But let's get that offered out there. Rasmus Rona. Oh, he can play left back. Important player. Might actually have some interest in joining us. So Rasmus Rona. We've got Magnus Gaunsbeck. Magnus Gaunsbeck doesn't have a thingy. Wants to be a star player. So let's offer him a trial. Hjalte Dalsgaard, a goalkeeper. Wants to be an important player, so maybe. And then Nikolai Larsen, another defender. We need defenders. Star player. That doesn't... Not as encouraging, but let's get that offered out. So hopefully we can... At least if we can have enough players to play the friendlies, that will certainly be nice. Only Danes. Only Danes, definitely what we want to sign up for. Reputation system is slightly better in 26 than 24. You got 5 straight promotions to the Prem and could only still attract League 1 level players, which made no sense. I mean, yeah, exactly. Especially when you've got teams like Wrexham who've been going through an entirely different process where they get that big boost of reputation thanks to people coming in, and they were signing championship quality players down in League 1 and League 2. So if anything, it needs a lot more balance. So that was Freemad. Hillerod aren't. Ishoy are, I think they are. Ishoy are. So, lots of options here. That bodes well. Mohamed Azakwan. Just wants to be a regular starter. That should be okay. We're starting to get players maybe willing to join. Bastian Cruz. Obviously, the problem is going to come that once we get these guys in, the ones that we want are going to be the ones that want crazy money. Pedersen, star players, making demands. I don't think he's particularly interested. Does your tactic have a right winger? It does currently. But we try and avoid that as much as we possibly can. It's pronounced Nikolai 99. I have no idea what that reference is. He has a what? I beg your. He has a. I need to be a little bit quicker with responding so that I know what on earth that was even a reference to. I'm so sorry. See, you've been promoted, so you'll be facing Roskilde. We will be indeed. We shockingly finished first. I still can't believe that. Frederick Monk also has crazy demands. But nonetheless, let's see if we can get him in. Then we've got Bilal Massad, defensive midfielder. Also got crazy demands. Where are we at? I'm guessing we're coming close to about 20 offered out now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 offered out. So we probably offer a couple more, I think. So let's have a look at Joseph Musa. Joseph Musa might be... Don't feel convinced on Musa. And then Hassan El Sayed. So before we go for that, what's Alfred Maslin? Alfred Maslin's a goalkeeper who wants to be a backup. So he's probably a very bad goalkeeper. But that doesn't matter. Let's get him in on a trial. And that Ishoy was the last in that division who are Copenhagen based. So we do have a few teams that we can look at potentially for the players that have been released down the other ends, and we can look at free transfers that are scouted. So in this regard, I'm only going to focus attention on scouted players only, because I think that's kind of semi-realistic. We're not going to know about every player in the world, right? Oh, Azakwan, Mohamed Azakwan, yeah, indeed. A bit like EFL, League One is the third tier. Exactly. Makes no sense whatsoever. It's a Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference. Fair enough. We should be able to play with two wingers because reasons. I can't wait until we've got some coaching badges so that we can actually do something kind of interesting and crazy. DM Basis is the Apprentice fan. An interesting shout. I can't watch The Apprentice. It just makes me so. It's genuinely rage bait TV as far as I'm concerned, because they select people based on incompetence rather than competence. They deliberately edit it so they look even worse. You're just like which I think is exactly why people enjoy watching it. Rich, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sire? The Sunderland letter F players are truly terrible and give you nightmares, so I'll be spared for today. Whee! RJ's feeling tired because he can't make any sense of the chat today. Don't worry. I can never make sense of it. Mrs. C is just a convenient scapegoat. I know how it is. Right, is Crodmo's a secret Apprentice fan. Fair enough. So DM Basis, we are doing F-Goats. And that's another shout for Torre Andre Flo. We do have Torre Andre Flo on the list. He's been quite a popular session. And Crodmo is the first one to mention Justine Flo. About time. Which, I mean, he was terrible at Sunderland, but he's quite good at Chelsea, disappointingly. A shout from Matthew Flamini, of course. What the fuck is levulinic acid? What the fuck is levulinic acid? So what was I going to do? Brain freeze for a moment. What I'm going to do is we're going to play bingo. that was the next step. Let me hop on over, set something up, and we will head on over and do the honours, as RJ did redeem bingo a few moments ago. So, if you haven't played bingo before, you will have a link appearing in your chat. Click on that and you get to join the lobby. The lobby will take you to bingo. Once I click start, every single player gets a unique bingo card with 16 squares. They will contain things like clubs or countries or awards or competitions. Everyone then gets the same list of 60 players revealed one after the other. You get 10 seconds to decide whether that player matches one of your squares. If they do, you click on the square. It locks it in. You can't undo it. You can't place another player there. If they don't match, just skip it or let the 10-second timer run out. By the end of that list of 60 players, you hope to have clicked 16 of those squares, and hopefully they will all be right, and that will get you bingo. We played this a little bit earlier. No one got bingo. There were plenty. There were four of you who got 15 out of 16, which is phenomenal work, but no one's got bingo yet today. So a second chance to play. We've got, what we'll do is we'll give it about a minute, 90 seconds or so, just to let people that want to sign up, and then we'll head on into it. And I will try and catch up, see what we've got. Could we go for Harvard flow? I personally prefer Yale flow, or Oxbridge flow, I think we'll go with. DM Basis says he was terrible everywhere, but you stand by for your Rangers players. I mean, he was. I thought Torre Flo was good for Chelsea, disappointingly. So we have 12 players scouted who want to join. Pretty much it. I assume someone has said Fabregas already, but just in case, we do have Fabregas on the list. Let me run through the list. We have some phenomenal suggestions in there, and we've got some questionable ones as well. We have Ansu Fati, we have Figo, we have Fabregas, we have Rio Ferdinand, we have Bruno Fernandes, we have Fichetti, we have Fellaini, we have Fanny, we have Fernandinho, Fabinho, Forlan, Falcao, Finnan, Flo, Fontaine, Fabianski, Francescoli, Fry, Frings, Farfan, Paolo Falcao, Fred Friday, Fulgini, Fars, Fortune, Fowler, Fortuna, Fafana, Friedrich, Fox, Fur, Filio, Fish, Fo, Formiga, Ford, Fowler, Forsby, Fang Zhao, Fred, Fjortov, Foster, Friedel, Frangi, Ferreira, Flamini, Justine Flo, Harvard Flo, Felipe, Fulcook, Fekir, Figueroa, Frogat, Fimbergasson, Futcher, Fuck It, Fornals. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at Fuck It. Boy, Fonseca, Francis, another Fatty, Betfatsidis, another Figueroa, and I think that's everyone. Oh, and Tim Flowers. Let's play some bingo. Head on over. If you've got to open another tab, it's probably already counting down because there's a slight delay. Rorschach prefers even flow, and I agree with you. I prefer even flow. Even flow, and thoughts arrive like butterflies. Oh, he don't know, and so he chases them away. Oh, someday he'll begin his life again. Oh, wow. Hey. Oh, I fucking love Pearl Jam. I do apologise for all of you having to deal with that. I'm so sorry. Finally, we've got a little bit of Les Ferdinand. Let's add Les Ferdinand on there. I did ask whether people wanted any other Ferdinands. It took a while for it to come, but we've got him in there now. How about a bit of Christophe Dugarry? We're going to let that one skip by. We're going to look at a bit of Giovanni Elba. Giovanni Elba played in the German league, but is not German. Does he count for any of these? I don't think so, so we'll let that one run. Damien Duff did not play with Frank Ribery. Did not play for AC Milan. Is not the Statue of Liberty. Hernandez won't have won any of those, I can't imagine. How about a bit of Angel Gomez? The English midfielder playing at... Is he still at Lille? I'm not sure. My brain does freeze on fast, and it's The out bit confuses me. The fast bit confuses me. It's all just very, very confusing. So I'll go for Germany for Mario Götze. Sami Hupia has won, I assume, just the one UCL title. So we can let that... Oh, UCL winner. There we go. Gabby. I'm completely... Right now, I'm very much at brain broken phrase. Donnarumma came from Milan, right? Hudson-Odoi. Did he play for Conte? We're going to say that he did. We're going to skip on Marcus Edwards. We're going to let Jerzy Dudek go. We're going to suggest that Jermaine Defoe played for Roma. We are not. Peter Brown Laudrup, the only Laudrup, right? Welcome in, by the way, Stuva. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in from Portugal. How are you doing, my dude? Peter Galacci. Surely that's a skip. Nicky Butt. Nicky Butt. We'll pass that one on as well. We've got Long Koscielny. I'm going to skip on Koscielny. I think I'm going to be skipping on Djibril Cisse. He's played for a lot of teams. So he could match those, but I'm just not feeling confident. Yosselu. Surely he hasn't won 2 UCLs. Jan Kolosh deserves to have won 2 UCLs. The glorious, glorious, big, bold man. Gianluigi Buffon. Let's put him down for that. I'm not particularly sure on that matter, but we'll let it run there. How about a bit of Joachim Andersen? Bit of Daichi Kamada. We're going on a little bit of a Crystal Palace spree right now. Takahiro Tomiyasu. Marco Reus. Did Marco Reus went to yeah, Marco Reus went to LA? I'm thinking LA. I'm now doubting myself. Terra Moffi, we're going to give a skip on. Now, Alex Iwobi plays for Nigeria, I think. Joaquin will skip past. Thiago, he was at Barcelona, right? Oh, he played Maicon. I'm really not liking this at all. I'm putting Panucci for Roma. I'm putting Carlos Bacca for Milan. That's one I feel vaguely comfortable on, which means it'll definitely be wrong. Leon Bailey will not be on any of those. Patrick Berger. What a strike he had on him. What a strike he had on him. Ian Wright, we're going to skip. Carlos Vela, we're going to skip. Tajon Buchanan. Oh, he's too late for Ribéry. Samir Nasri must have played with Ribéry in the national team. I'm going for it. João Cancelo, we're going to skip. Manuel Neuer, we're going to skip. Enrico Chiesa. We're going for Golden Boot. Edison Cavani to have won a World Cup Golden Boot. Sergio Aguero at Atletico Madrid. We're going to see how that's going. So it's a poor showing from DM Basis, he reckons. I mean, still top 10 currently, which isn't bad. We do not have a bingo at the moment, but Mr. Grizzly P out on top with a sensational 15 out of 16. William P building on his strong showing last time in second with 14. Then we've got a two-way tie in third between Powell and Crodmo. And then in that would mean joint fifth, we've got Peter Linson, we've got I Hate Arsenal, Char and Shaw. A Grizzly double 45, Larry Jordan's number. You get shat the bed so bad. It's all good. It's all good. Crodmo's getting worse, not better. I mean, there's no shame in it. I think that felt like a pretty tough board as far as I'm concerned. I would say that because I got the same amount of points. So naturally, I'm going to say that about 39 is exactly the right amount that you want. So Peter Linson, I Hate Arsenal, DMB, unfortunately have found themselves knocked out of the points positions. El Norby has come in and has also been knocked out of the points positions because Rorschach has done sensationally, as has Ladislav Almasi. Beautiful job. Let me dish out those bonus points. So we've got Almasi, we've got Grizzly. You get 5 points each. William P and Rorschach, you get 3 points each. And that means Pal and Crodmo get 1 point each. Beautiful stuff, chaps. Beautiful. Let me do that there and work out what the button I need to press. I need to press that one there to get this back up. So we've got some options here as well, and they're minimal knowledge at best. 12 players in total. Are any of them goalkeepers? No. Are any of them left backs? This guy potentially. How many players can you bring in on how many players can you bring in on trial? We've offered out 20. I'm having a feeling it might be 30. Well, let's see what happens, actually. Let's see once we'll move forwards. We might have a handful of options, people who reject us, or we'll find out. Indeed, we do have some who've rejected us. Beautiful. But we do have, most of them have said yes, which is good. So let's bring these guys in. That's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 goalkeepers there. That's encouraging. Monk wanted some crazy stuff. Really determined. That might be a shame. We might lose out on Monk. Let's remove him from shortlist. We have got Otto Dupont. Otto Dupont. Mygins doesn't want us. Pedersen, Tobias Pedersen doesn't want us. But Bastian Cruz was up playing top division before. Mohamed Azakwan. So let's move that forwards. Just so we can see the lie of the squad after that. Got all those there. Okay, so there's 4 goalkeepers in that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Rico Henry isn't English. What a bullcrap. Has he got international caps for? Oh, so what nationality is Rico Henry? I don't know. Warshak reckons it might be 30. I have a feeling it might be 30 now. But so it's going to take a few weeks for us to get information on them. But we've got some centre-back options there. Jonas Idris, I think, is more of a centre-back than a left-back. Larson, I think, was more of a centre-back than a left-back. Magnus Gornsbeck. So I'm not sure there. I think we still need left-backs, potentially. Could probably do with bringing in maybe some, at least one more defensive midfield option. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 loanies in. See if maybe there's a couple of more traditional strikers as well. So let's have a look if there's any left back options there. We were talking about Mads Christensen. So let's see. Offer trial for 4 weeks. Maybe a defensive midfielder of sorts. There aren't any. We've got this guy called Emil Chambo as a poacher, not necessarily what I'm looking for. I'd like a big man if we possibly could. So there's a second striker. I don't know how likely that is. We still do have the division below, the Campo Bet 3 division that we can go through as well. We know that Frem is a Copenhagen-based team. So it's Jamaica. Fair enough. Jamaica. I see the Led Zeppelin reference. Rorschach got it. Rorschach got it. We're getting a little bit of Everton synergy going on there. So they're a poor man's Rosh. Exactly. It is a Warwick. It's 2 Warwicks, in fact. It's my Fretless. So the Fretless is a Corvette. And then we've got a Streamer, which is the fretted one as well. I am very much a Warwick bitch. That's just the way it is. By the way, welcome in, Alex. Thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. If you're comfortable chatting, love to know who you support and who you're playing with in FM. iCore. So am I doing a series like the Pauk one this FM? Not exactly like the Pauk one, but this is going to be done as a video series. It's going to be a little while before it starts, so it's going to be kind of mockumentary style, but it's going to be following it as a narrative approach rather than a Moneyball specific piece of content. So it'll be multiple episodes Maybe like 2 or 3 episodes per season, but multiple seasons and really following it from a story perspective. So let's have a look at Filip Oslev here. Filip Oslev can play at fullback, so that might be a consideration. Rasmus Fink. Not a player I know, but it felt familiar. We've got Osama Jaffer Bey. So I'm really looking at, I think I want maybe another goalkeeper if there's one out there. Because we need as many goalkeepers. We need a goalkeeper. So it's really, really important that we find as many options as we possibly can. I'd like a big striker. So left backs, goalkeepers, strikers. They're the priority. Let's go back to the squad. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So maybe 13 more players that we can bring on trial. One more defensive midfielder. Let's give it a try. Left backs, goalkeepers, strikers. Left back, goalkeeper, striker. Left back, goalkeeper, striker. 5'10" as a striker. Don't think that's going to be the answer, but let's try it. Mark Winkle can play lots of positions. Plus his name is Winkle. That's always a good sign. So let's have a look at some of the other teams as well. So Frem, Herlov aren't. I need to just double check back here. Oh, they might be. They're a new team in the league, I think. Horsham aren't. Lyseng and Nisby aren't. Nyköping aren't. SFB and Skiva were newly promoted. Sundby is the only other club, I believe, potentially. Yes, I'm Warwick Davis's bitch. Yeah. I used to have a 5-string Corvette a few years ago. A fine choice. A fine choice indeed. Alex, so you're supporting Man United and you're playing with them. A little bit hard at the moment because you're using your own tactics. I was wondering whether or not to listen to the tactical advices before the matches or not. I mean, generally speaking, when it comes to tactical advice that you get, I would base it on whether the assistant manager has similar ideas to you. So let's pop on. I don't have any staff at the moment, so that's not going to be very helpful. But we do have a director of football, so you get a little bit of information about your staff's tactical ideas. So what type of style they like to play, what formations they like to play. If they're similar to what you want your team to do, then their advice is going to be generally along the lines of things that might be useful. However, you know, things like when they recommend that you change mentality, that is often based on their own preferences for a type of mentality. So, you know, if they've got a very different set of tactical preferences, then that advice isn't necessarily as useful. So welcome in, by the way, Giggles. Lovely to see you, my dude. An NEC Nijmegen tactic recreation when? That's a good point. There isn't any plans for a Nijmegen one, but I do have something in the works that's going to be a couple of weeks away. I also, I'm going to need to save the game in a couple of moments, I think, as well. But once we get to the 1st of July. So as you were asking, Icor, by the way, thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if you were able to hear my answer or whilst you were changing between platforms. But this is going to be kind of like the Pauk series, but also not kind of like the Pauk series. And one of the aspects that comes with that is that I need to make regular save points so that once I'm coming to doing a video, I'm in a position to pop back and grab information, which is what I'm about to do now. So this one is July. And then I need to save it again to make sure that the autosave doesn't oversave the save point, which is something that is going to trip me up. It trips me up so much time with the like the Moneyball Clinic ones, is I make a save each month so that when I need to go back and get pictures of league tables and things like that, I can just load up safe. So I go to the halfway point, like, right, there's the league table for that. This is how many goals he'd scored by that point. And then the rest of the time it goes on this in progress one with an autosave on after every match. And if I forget to turn it back to the in progress save, it writes over everything and then it ruins it, and I get all frazzled. Oh, now you're calling Rich a poor man's Angine de Poitrine. A harsh insult. A harsh insult if ever I heard one. So, we've got some players. We've got a whole load of players. We've got 5 games coming up before the season starts. So, the season starts in exactly a month's time on the 1st of August. We only went on our break a couple of weeks ago. We'll be coming back on the 6th of July. And then we've got basically 2 games a week. So it's going to be a little bit tricky in terms of working out which players to play and getting them up to fitness for the time. Because if I'm rotating really, really heavily, then players aren't getting enough minutes. So essentially, we need to identify the players that we think are going to make the grade and prioritize them. So it might not necessarily go there. So Svensson, we gave him a new... What? Oscar Svensson has been given an automatic pay rise in line with his contract to ensure that he remains one of Brønshøj's highest earners, matching the 300... We offered him a €380 contract, right? So he signed a €380 a week contract with the match highest earner clause, and then he's matched the highest earner to get 380... I'm guessing that like Victor Farborg might actually be on 381 or something, perhaps. Perhaps we're going to get this message through with every renewal that we do. We'll find out, I suppose. Nick Christopherson, obviously famously son of Chris, a goalkeeper. Just get all the goalkeepers in. Is he already on our shortlist? Is he someone who's already rejected us? Or I just missed him completely? I've already got a full schedule. I've got 2 games a week. So we're going to reject all of these. Right, Lestry, no worries. Thank you very much for dropping by. I hope you have a lovely, lovely night's sleep, my dude. So Giggles, you loved what you did with the Getafe manager. So I do have something. Actually, you would have seen it very, very briefly there when I was saving the game. I'm not actually going to. There's an Ardo Den Haag thing in the works, but no, not anything particularly modern, I will be honest. We're going to be looking at something a little bit more historical for a change. So will we get back-to-back promotions? I would be amazed if we avoid relegation. As I said, I have no idea how viable this approach is going to be. And I have a feeling that we're going to have a massive, massive talent disparity and go straight back down, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to get promoted in the first season. But we'll see. We'll see. So we've got 5 goalkeepers now. So now we've just got to wait to see as these attributes reveal themselves, potentially in due course. So RJ, when am I going to manage in Belgium? Never. Far too... I do like a league that splits, but there's far too many splits. That's the problem. So RJ, to be honest though, right? So when I was coming back to streaming, one of the... Yeah, it's done it again. It must be, yeah, some kind of weird, like €1 issue with the roundout. So obviously during the beta, I did that stream where we were on Delect, played like, I think we played a whole 1 competitive game. I was thinking that I'd kick on with that again when I came back to streaming. But I had been using that save to play on through. Often when a new patch drops, it's the on Delect save that I load up. And just like it would feel really weird to start, but drop straight into the middle of something that we haven't talked about for 6 months. So that is still ticking along in the background. If the issue is splits, then I expect a Belgian save in FM27. I've said it now, haven't I? I've said it now. Bugger. A KAV Dendermonde rebuild win. I mean, genuine questions, genuine answers with some of that. Moneyballers, we've just finished the Durham season, so I've been very deliberate with the choices of clubs. We started with a small club with USL Dunkirk. We went to a medium-sized club in Werder Bremen. We took a big club in Juventus, and then I took a small club in Durham. And that was very deliberate. I know that like the Juventus series was going to get quite good views because it's a big club, and that's an opportunity for me to then use the next series to get some views on something that probably wouldn't normally, which is women's football. I know that the flip side of that is people who've come from Juventus will go, this is something I'm not interested in, and drop out. But maybe there will be 10, 20 people that will start to pay attention to the women's football in FM as a result of being hooked by one. So I'm very deliberate in choosing like the stature of teams as we go. But the last series is going to be something very different where we try everything out together. I haven't worked out the teams yet for that. Right, so we're going to talk about relegation. And they're fine with that? No. I mean, I got one option, so that's fine. We'll just say be as good as you can. And that's, I'm not allowed to talk about anything else. That was a weird meeting. That was a weird meeting. Marius Christensen is playing for Moss too. My favourites of the Moss. So thank you for the FM24 skin. No worries at all. Just realised how easy it made your life. By the way, thank you very much for the follow, Del Decker. So Rorschach, for any of the older FM heads and seeing the Danish players, does anyone remember Kenneth Stenild? A very good goalkeeper for you back in 07 and 08. That name doesn't ring a bell at all. I'm going to make Standard Liège number 1 just to annoy you. That would be the response. Love your stream setup. Got me invested now. Welcome in. We have to make a little bit of effort. Try. I'm going to manage 2 clubs at the same time, Standard and Brugge. That would really wind him up. Really wind him up. El Norby recommends the Hungarian League where we play 3 rounds. God knows why. How many do you need? How many do you need? Yeah. See, I like a split. I like a split, just not as many splits as Belgium has. Them going back to a boring regular league isn't any fun. And you play along with Union SG to take over. I mean, yeah, Union would be the choice, right? A nice let's be fair, we're going to be rubbish. I can't register the squad at the moment because I can't meet the minimum requirements because all the players are on trial. Okay. Under 19s. Oh, snuck in there just enough people to get past this without having to hit holiday. Right, we've got a break coming up, chaps. So I'm going to pop on over for the toilet. I'm going to poison my lungs. I'm going to refill my drink, and I'm going to see you guys in about 3 minutes. I'll see you then. And we're back, and I almost forgot to unmute the mic. See, I'm getting better at this. I don't think I've managed to come back from a break and forget to unmute a mic for at least like 3 streams now. Oh, welcome in, by the way, Root. Lovely to see you, my dude. And Viper. So Georgia, teams play each other 4 times and have to play 6 to 7 games every 2 weeks because of European competitions. That sounds like a nightmare. It's why I don't think I'll ever manage in Brazil again, because of the amount of games with the state championships as well. See what you did, Neutral Normie, with the Hadjuk split save. I see what you did. Very nicely done. So RJ, come on, do it. You know you want to. You know you want to. Spasijevic is going to be out for 3 days. That's absolutely fine. We're just case of cracking on. However, it is poll time now. So we need to vote on the F-GOAT. We have had some fantastic suggestions throughout the course of this stream. I'm going to bring it down to just 4. And those 4 are going to be Figo, Fabregas, Becchetti, and Fontaine. Just Fontaine. So you will have 10 minutes to get your votes in for who you believe is the greatest F-named player. I've popped them up there over on Twitch. I'm now just going to be doing it on YouTube. So YouTube, just a couple of moments and you'll get the option there as well. Who is the F-GOAT? I will tally the votes together, and once they're all done, we will anoint who will join Sergio Aguero, who will join Franz Beckenbauer, who will join Johan Cruyff, who will join Alessandro Del Piero, and who will join Eusebio in the Alphabet GOAT Hall of Fame. I still haven't worked out what the thing is called as a whole. By the way, Klausy, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in, my dude. If you are comfortable chatting, love to know who you support, who you're playing it with FM at the moment. Injustice for Rod Fanny. I know. I was tempted to put Rod Fanny on there, Rorschach, but you see, you Everton fans, you're problematic. The issue is that then you'll try and make them win, and that can be too much of an issue. Right. I'm going to tell Victor Farborg he should be a squad player, and I'm going to dismiss him. So Victor Farborg, he is the reason we're having to pay people €380 a week, because he was the highest earner remaining at the club. It wasn't exactly particularly good for us last season, and if his contract had been due to expire at the end of last season, we wouldn't have been renewing him at all. So he can bugger off. So problematic exactly. Problematic 100%. So you're not voting in it because there's no Falcao. Falcao was a very, very, very good shout, and I'll be honest, I think with Fontaine and Facchetti, we have 2 of the older options in there, and I didn't want to make it all old. So we kind of got a nice spread throughout decades, I hope. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm surprised to see Fabregas running out with the lead over on Twitch. We've got Figo in second, followed by Facchetti. Finally, we've got a vote for Fontaine. And it's Fabregas who's running away with it on YouTube as well. You guys surprise me. I mean, it is Facchetti. I don't get to make the decision there, but it is Facchetti. Not a single flow. I know it's unreasonable, isn't it? Unreasonable. I'm sorry. No Forlan in there. I mean, he made the long list. No Torsten Frings made the long list. Fernandinho made the long list, but they didn't quite make the final 4. Justice for Emil Forsberg. Welcome in, by the way, Dux 2002. Thank you very much for the follow. Who do you support, Dux? And who are you playing with in FM? I'd love to know. Call Figo Flow if you want. Lies and slander. It's true. I don't know if it is specifically an Everton issue, but I'm going to claim it is. I'm going to start the Aston Villa Everton war. Wow, 2 people are unhappy. Is there a thing that says, I think most of the players have my back? Yeah. You obviously don't have that much support given the situation we're in here. Sweetheart, there's 2 of you. We've got 600 players on trial and none of them are complaining. Just get back to work, you Interestingly, Svensson is one of the other players who was still under contract, so we couldn't see him go. He probably... No, he might have survived, to be fair. He might have survived. So we've had these players for a week now. We're starting to get some... Oh, okay, we've got full reveal on Alfred Brun. Alfred Brun is shit. Hjalte Dalsgaard is shit. Alfred Maslin, good agility, good reflexes, good aerial reach. Positioning is goddamn atrocious, but so far that looks like a goalkeeper that might actually know how to play. Axel Mortensen, slightly better positioning, worse agility, worse reflexes, worse control of high balls. Nick Christopherson was the guy who's recommended to us by our scouts. Our scout singular. He doesn't look particularly great either. Our goalkeeping is probably going to be an issue. But not Axel Mortensen, Alfred Maslin currently looks like the front runner. 6'6", looks like he's built like a brick shit house with floppy hair. Bless him. RJ surprised by Sesko Verfigo, but okay, I'm surprised as well. I think you see, Crudmo calls it recency bias, but I mean, when we look at who's won so far, I think we've got a knowledgeable set here. So Dark, you're a massive Hull City fan. Hope we get lucky in the playoffs. I mean, just by being in the playoffs, you've put yourself in with a chance, right? That's the important bit. So Fulkrug has been mugged off. I mean, Fulkrug definitely hasn't, bless him. Was that team speech for two players? That was a team meeting over them being unhappy about how I treated their teammate. Come on, we've been through this. It's William McGregor of Villa who helped assure Everton of their place in the Football League. The clubs are old friends. Me and you, not so much. Exactly. That's why I need to start the feud. So you're working with Luton on FM26. Five seasons in, win the Prem. Just can't seem to get in that top 10. I mean, that seems though like it's good linear progress at the moment though. Seems very, very encouraging. Otto Dupont can mark. He's determined. He can't really do anything going forward, so maybe he isn't much of a fullback. Could be a midfielder potentially. Oliver Wettergren is just coming back from an injury. Can jump a little bit, got good positioning, lacks composure. Got okay pace and acceleration, but awful strength. Maybe there's a player in there. Rasmus Ronner, right-footed. He's got good physical profile and he can tackle. That might be enough to get him a job as a fullback. Magnus Gronsbeck can jump, can tackle, can mark, can position, has concentration decisions, slow as hell, but currently Magnus Gronsbeck is looking good as far as I'm concerned. Jonas Idris was the former Brønshøj defender, one of the few former players that wants to come back. He can jump, has no strength, can position, good decision making, can tackle and can mark. Not as bad strength, bad dribbling, but not as weak in the things that he's weak at, which is encouraging. And then we've got Nikolai Larsson here. Nikolai Larsson really can jump. He can kind of mark. He's got good decisions. His positioning's awful. Can use his left foot. Can't dribble at all. Can cross. Ish. Jonas Lishoy at Brønshøj. He looks okay. Jonas Lishoy looks okay. He's got a few things that he can do, right? So that counts. No doubt. Nobody even mentioned Darren Fletcher, Mind Slicer. We did have Finn Bergosson on the long list. He did get that far, which is quite nice. So Gaming Fisher, you missed the D-Goat vote at the start of the last stream, but I'm glad you used your tie break to pick Del Piero as he played for Sydney FC. He showed his class even at an older age. He was just such a glorious player to watch, wasn't he, right? Just everything about him was just such a joy. And when it comes to tiebreakers, players that I've seen playing multiple whole matches are certainly going to have an advantage. Seduct, you don't actually know if he's supposed to be good on FM, but Santiago Jimenez in Season 3 in Champ, and he just carries me, can't lie. I mean, Santiago Jimenez is a very, very good player, to be fair. Not a bad player to pick up whatsoever. Right, here's Mads Christensen. He was one of our scouted players. He looks possibly worse. Mark Winkle. He's called Winkle. He can play on both flanks. He can kind of tackle. He can kind of pass. He can kind of cross. His weakness is anticipation and strength. Strength isn't quite as important in the fullback positions. As a possible left back, I'm feeling good about Winkle. I always feel good about Winkle, especially in the morning. We've got Bilal Massad. He can tackle. He's determined. He's got good natural fitness. He can play a few positions. That looks good to me. Or Daniel Warnback. Daniel Warnback looks worse. So Massad looks like the player that we would potentially incorporate. Musa. Nothing special, but can play all across the front line. That might work in his favour. Belawahi. He's slow. No, he's not that slow. Yeah, Belawahi's a no. Don't like the look of that profile. Anders Thomason. Anders Thomason got great acceleration and pace. Good finishing. Not necessarily the greatest in terms of strength. Not necessarily the big guy that we want. I don't know if we want to put our faith in a 15-year-old. But maybe. Maybe. So the vote is in. The vote is in. We have... I'm going to bring it to an end over on YouTube as well. And the results are as follows. With 2 votes, Just Fontaine. With 2 votes, Giacinto Facchetti. With 9 votes overall, it's Figo, which means Fabregas with 13 votes is the F-GOAT. So do we have the alphabetical list of GOATs voted so far? So we do have it during the break and the start screens. So it's Aguero, it's Aguero, it's Beckenbauer, it's Cruyff, it's Del Piero, it's Eusebio, and now it's Cesc Fabregas. Cesc Fabregas. There we go. That is a shocker. I genuinely thought that it might go to Figo. And I genuinely believe it should be Facchetti. But the people have spoken. The people have made themselves known. Let's have a look at Emil Chambo here. His movement isn't particularly good. He's okay at moderate pace, decent balance. Nothing particularly special there. Then we've got Andreas Wilberg, 26 years old. That has no physical presence, no jumping reach, strength, balance. He can head though. Can finish, okay, movement. None of them feel like the answer. Is the ultimate feeling there. So let's do this. Maslen. Just gonna add stars at the end of the names of players that I think might be usable. So these are going to be the players that we're going to prioritize in the friendlies. And I have an awful memory, so I need to do something to mark them up. I think Wettergren looked okay. And I seemed quite positive about Gaunsbeck. More than Idris, didn't I? So let's go Gaunsbeck. So I thought Lishoy was okay. And Winkle I was very encouraged by. Love me a bit of Winkle. I like Bilal Massad. Oh, I didn't look at Cruiser or Azamaducci. Cruiser's left-footed. That's won my heart already. So he doesn't look to be good, but we did lack left-footed wingers. And then we've got Azarquan. Azarquan's jumping reach is slightly better than the other players we've got, but his strength is goddamn awful. I'm not sold on our striking options. I think Musa, by comparison, was kind of okay. I didn't think he was okay, but he is better than the other players we've brought in so far from the looks of things. So I think that's the players we're going to be looking to build around. Fast was not even the top in the 4. I know, it's shocking, right? Any Patriots, New England Patriots 82, Cess greater than Figo, madness. I'm surprised. I am very surprised. You've had a shocker there, particularly for leaving out Falcao, the real one, not the Colombian guy. I disagree, Cromwell. I'm very, very happy with my choice. And look at national teams. Do you have any tips to find wonder kids on FM? So yeah, Rorschach is right. Look at national teams and sort by age. If you see any youngsters playing for the national team, they could be good. Yeah, you don't want to come to me to answer about wonder kids, because I tend to do all data-based signings, which means that youth players aren't really on the radar for me unless they've already broken into a first team, which is generally a very easy way. So for some reason, I was thinking of Argoats. Got to be interesting in Brazil. The Argoats period is going to be incredible, right? Absolutely incredible. Who are you going? Who would you be going for the Argoats, Mr. Grizzly? It's not Richarlison. It's Harry Rain. There we go. Right. So let's see. We've got Maslin. Let's do Herfold on that side, Winkle on that side. Let's have a look at Gronsbeck alongside Kjola. We will have Linger and Massad. So we would potentially be looking at, let's look at something like Musa, Del Suze. So I want to kind of balance it a little bit between players that we've got and players that we might look to sign. So we'll go Victor Farborg up front, and then so you're a player I want to keep an eye on. You're a player I want to keep an eye on. You are. Then the players that are actually in the squad: Spasijevic, Svensson, Stojanovic. So still got 3 more players. Let's have a look there. We've got 2 defenders, a right back. So a defensive midfielder. I need someone who can play at left back. So that's going to be Ronner's in there. I need someone who can play in defensive midfield, which will be Wombat. And then I've got someone who can play on the right wing. I've got a striker. So I want someone who can play on the left. No, so surely I've already got that player on the left. Yeah, I've got someone who can play on the left there. I want someone who can play behind the striker, which is going to be potentially Azakwan. And then let's just pick some other players just to fill out the bench a little. Another goalkeeper. Who's they saying is the best goalkeeper? They reckon that this Christopherson guy is good, so he can be the final guy on the bench, right? Now, this will probably not be the tactic we'll end up using this season. We've let our goalkeeper coach go. We're still waiting on applications from assistant managers, but once we've got staff in, we can then ask them what they want to do, and that's what we're going to be going with potentially. The 5'10" striker with good heading, is he getting on the end of the low crosses? Potentially. But I want a big guy. I want a proper big guy. 3 pace, 3 acceleration, 16 strength. Maybe, if we could get someone with really good strength and jumping reach, that's great. But yeah, it's lots of strength, no pace, maybe no technical ability. I'm fine with no technical ability. I don't have a coach to tell me what to say, so I'm just going to go with the top option. It's a chance for us to see. Let's move that up to 1.5 and see how we get on in our first. This is a game we should be winning. This is a Denmark series team, which is the Danish non-league. I don't think they're maybe that far below the league system, so I don't think it's going to be really, really easy. But we should be expecting to win this one way or the other. Is it Danny Rose is going to be who Mr. Grizzly P is going for? Darren Randerton. Welcome in, Kappa. Lovely to see you, my dude. Lovely to see you, my dude. Is it Ronnie Rosenthal? But that miss will go down in history. So Ducks, your team, you've got Senna Lammons, Tommy Doyle, Marcus Tavernier. Here's Hereford. Easy finish there at the back post. Marcus Tavernier, Anas Mehmeti, Alfie Devine, and Tyro Wonyi. Some of the more big players I have in my Luton team. That's a nice mix. I like it. Neutral Normie, we will save the G nominations for the next stream, largely because I won't remember by the next stream, which is going to be on Monday, by the way, guys. So it's going to be Monday, starting at the same time, 11 British Summer Time. That I say it's going to be Monday. Part of that is going to depend on how the progress on the next mystery video is going to come along, but hopefully it should be. So you made him the centerpiece of your team in one of Zera's drafts. Oh, who was it now? Who? Was it? Well, it depends which draft it was. Is it Dmitry Radchenko? That'd be. I mean, Florin Radachoyu would be my shout for the Argoats, but we've got a long way to get before we get there. Carl Hudlin, that's exactly the kind of player I want, with less technical ability than Carl Hudlin if we possibly can. So Paul Martin's our goat would be Paul Robinson for his banger against Watford. I mean, did the Wind get credited with the assist for that one? It's crazy how many like direct long goalkeeper goals there have been. I mean, I know it's only like 3 or 4, but that's still 3 or 4 more than I'd ever expect. RJ, not on Saturday. Nope, I'm working on Saturday, I'm afraid. So basically, every day I'm not working, I stream in the mornings, except when I have a weekend off, I stream on the Saturday. And then I save the Sunday for doing all my editing. So sadly, it's just around what days I have off. So Monday I've got off next week, and then after that, Joseph Musa, decent finish, tidy finish. The week after, so next Monday, and then it will be the Saturday, because I have Saturday, Sunday off. And then I think the week after it's going to be a Wednesday or a Thursday, but I'm not 100% certain. So Dux, you swapped Lammins for your young 18-year-old goalkeeper to United. That seems crazy. How on earth did you manage to pull that one off? Incredible work. Yes, Radachoyu. Gotta love a bit of Radachoyu. His hair was glorious. Proper, like tight blonde curls. Well, they weren't blonde. They were kind of somewhere halfway between blonde and ginger, but not what you call strawberry blonde. Here's Hereford. Cleanse it into the far post, and there's Del Sue's. Easy stuff so far. It's what we expected. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is a great player. What a player indeed. We all know it's Romario. So interestingly as well, I said we've got an Ardo Den Haag thing coming up. That's not going to be next week's video. We've got something else for next week. But for the Ardo Den Haag video, I have been watching documentaries in Dutch, specifically focusing on Romario's broken ankle against Ardo Den Haag back in the very early 90s. I was hoping it was going to be someone unusual, someone crazy unusual. But yeah, the Brazilians of that era, Ronaldo, Romario, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, just like, it's an endless list, right? I mean, it's not that endless, it ended there. So your young goalkeeper came through your youth scout thing, was worth 17 million. You just needed a better number one as he wasn't Premier League level. So you've potentially mortgaged your future for the short term. I mean, Senna Lammins isn't exactly an old guy, so you've got your number one position sorted for a long time, I imagine. Mr. Grizzly P, you did indeed do the last dance team in the 08 database draft. I mean, but that's why you do those ones, right? It's to get all the real stars. Nobody wants an up-and-coming Cesc Fabregas. That's boring. We want the 40-year-olds. We want Jari Litmanen playing in Estonia. Is his lad is it an Estonian team? I think it might be. We'll go with that anyway. I'm saying Estonia. Right, here's Del Suze going to send the cross in. It's a bit of a rubbish cross. Del Suze is interesting. He's a right-footed left winger that can't play on the right at all. But I think we might push him over to the right. That's if the substitute who's going to play on the left wing seems to do all right, and we end up, I mean, I say he seems to be all right, and we can get him signed, then there's a chance that we look to move Del Suze over to the right, where he can be more of a traditional winger, which I think suits his skill set. He's not the greatest crosser, was he? He's slow, but he's a good dribbler. That's the main takeaway, I think. But as expected against non-league opposition, we seem to be doing all right. There seems to be some good play there. Victor Svensson had that chance just a moment ago. Haven't really seen him involved in many of the highlights otherwise, though. So, as I say, the suspicion that if we end up with a 4-2-3-1, that Svensson might be used a little bit deeper based on his good tackling and good heading numbers. Rivellino, of course. Sadux, you find it so hard to find wing-backs as you play a back five. I mean, the answer can often be to look at players that you can move there. If you play very attacking wing-backs, sign some wingers. If you play very defensive or inverted wing-backs, find some central midfielders, potentially. Yeah, solid first half. I don't know what to say because... Well, what I would want to say there, I'll just go with that. Part of the way that this save is being done is until we have our coaching badges, we have to follow the advice of our staff. But we have no staff at the moment, so there's no one to follow advice for. So we're going to put these guys in. Warner's going to play at left back. The defensive midfield is going to be Forsgren and Warnback. Then our wing options, we wanted Cruz on the left. Svensson's going to be up front, which means Stojanovic out on the right. And then it was Azarquan behind the striker, potentially. I think realistically, I can have... We've got 5 friendlies before the season starts, right? So I think we have 2 games where we play players 45 minutes each half. And then we really want to be moving towards getting ourselves up to fitness for the season start. So going up to sort of 60 to 75 minutes, Stojanovic. Then maybe around 75 to 90 minutes for the next 2 games, potentially. And then finishing off with a 45-45 split. So after this game, and then after the next game, is when we're probably looking at giving out contracts and maybe refreshing the players we've got in on trial so we can see if we can find another big striker potentially. Hopefully something's going to come through from a scout at some point. Here we go, Bastian Cruz. Oh, off the par and the post. Oh, you poor sod. I thought G was going to be between Garincha and Hullet. I mean, absolutely, Gerson's a great shout. But after today's vote, you're not sure. It's going to be Giroud. It is going to be Giroud. I'm also willing to suggest Gabby Agbonlahor, even though he isn't a G. I think that because he is such a special player, he deserves a special exception. It's gonna be Gattuso, or maybe it'll be Gravison. I mean, you're coming in with some fine suggestions. It can't be Gattuso unless we take manager career too. All we're saying is the alphabet goat. Doesn't have to be players. You know, we could be looking at managers. We could be. I mean, Bosman was made the long list for B because of his impact. Yes, he's a player, but because of his impact on football rather than his ability technically. Surely it's Brad Guzan. That Villa had such a fine run of bald American goalkeepers for a while. Maybe not Dario Gradi. Maybe not. There we go. Forsgren. Stojanovic has done quite well. Again, can't read too much into this because it's a pre-season friendly against non-league opposition. But Stojanovic has done some good things. And considering you frustrated the hell out of me as a striker last season, maybe his position is the wing. Maybe. That said, what will happen now is we'll end up with an assistant manager who plays a 5-3-2 or something, and we'll have no wingers. Oh God. If we end up with an assistant manager with 5-3-2 as their famous, I don't know if we've got the options out there. Like, we look through every local team's rejects. We will probably have to go to the transfer room and see if there's any way they can help us potentially. It's a friendly ref. No need for cards. Just play it nice. This is going to be Stojanovic breaking his... Okay, I thought Stojanovic was going to spoil with all the nice things I said about him earlier by fluffing the penalty, but yeah, he's done all right. I mean, this is kind of, as I said, what we expect of this kind of game. I'd be not the pass map. So we look at the players that are playing in the first half. That's the players that are playing in the second half. I do apologise. So that is the first half up there. So Gaunsbeck was pretty safe on the ball, which is good. Same can be said about Massard. Massard only made one key pass though. A lot of the creativity came from Musa. A good mark on Musa there. Not much coming from Winkler at fullback. So how about Lishoy and who was the other one? Ronner. They didn't create chances from the fullback positions. Stojanovic was the main outlet, as was Del Suze. And he really dribbled quite a bit. So Musa's impressed me, okay? Musa has definitely impressed me in this one game. Expected assists. Anyone have particularly high? That's fine. Stojanovic obviously had the penalty. Bastian Cruz had that shot that came off both the bar and the post. Del Suze said, yeah. Victor Svensson, big chances that he missed. Defending wise, I don't know if this is what I don't like about percentages in a single game, is that I don't know if that means that Kjula missed all his tackles or Kjula didn't attempt any tackles. And they didn't do great in the air. I think that's from attacking headers, essentially. So Gronsbeck, nothing much really there in terms of defensive contribution. Wettergren did a better job in that respect. And I think we're starting to get a little bit of an idea potentially. Give Aya welcome in. On the channel forward position, what would be the first 3 traits? I play with only one striker. I mean, it depends really what you want out of your channel forward, because generally speaking, if your moves into channels is an obvious one, right? That makes sense. You want your channel forward to move into channels, so players that move into channels generally going to be good. But if you see your channel forward as being primarily a striker, then you're going to be looking at them either shooting with power or place their shots, depending on their composure and finishing ability. If you're looking at them as being someone that's an outlet that then facilitates for others, so maybe they're running the channels mainly in transition and then crossing to say inside forwards or attacking midfielders flooding the box, then maybe you actually prefer someone who likes to play passes instead of scoring. So really, it does depend on your whole setup around it. But anyway, guys, that is the point that we're about to bring the stream to an end. So Kwame, if your assistant plays 3-5-2, just convert the wingers to wingbacks. They'll learn. This isn't. Oh yeah, that is 100% what we'll end up doing. But it's not as if we've got. Oh, Del Sousa's crossing is okay. That's it. He's just slow as hell. Actually, his tackling of 8 and positioning of 6. He'd be being all right. wing back, I reckon. Anyway, yes, thank you very much. It's been great fun. I hope you've all enjoyed yourself. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. British Summer Time. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube first. So thank you very much, YouTube, everyone who's been along. It's been lovely to have you in. Gaming Fishy, Paul Martin, Brock Turnell, Mind Slicer, Yigit. If any of you are still around, very, very much appreciate you guys. And I will see you soon. And then over on Twitch, we're going to do